Las Vegas saya dao akusala sangaha akusala means immoral or unwholesome, and sangaha means compendium, right? Here, we'll first be talking about the four Ādavā. If you read books about this subject, you'll repeatedly encounter the words Ādavā, Oga, Yoga, Gantha, and Upadana. After we study these terms, it will be very useful for our understanding. When we understand the meanings, we will find it very useful for our meditation. Ādavā. Okay, so there are four Ādavā, which we can also call the four defilements, or the four intoxicants. These Ādavā are like fermented liquor. We might put liquor in a pot for a long time and then drink it. Why? Because once it ferments, it can strongly intoxicate a man and make him drunk. We call this fermented liquor. In the same way, these four Ādavā, intoxicants or defilements, have been fermenting in our mind and body for a long, long time. The four Ādavā include 1. Kāmasava, sense desires. 2. Bhavasava, attachment to jhana or existence in rupa or arupa planes. 3. Ditthasava, false view or wrong view. 4. Avidyasava, ignorance. These four kinds of ādavā make a man drunk and forgetful of his liberation. Why is he forgetful? Because he's drunk. It's like he's been drunk on fermented liquor for many, many lives. Kāmasava kama refers to visible objects, sounds, smells, tastes, and tangible objects. We call these kama, or sense objects. We're talking here about attachment to the sense sphere. Where can we see Kāmasava nowadays? To what sorts of things does the eye get attached? The television, right? Or attached to movies. We can watch television the whole night, but 16 akusala sangaha find it difficult to sit in meditation for an hour. These are examples of attachment to visible objects. When you drive from Las Vegas to Los Angeles, it takes about 4 hours. During that time, you can listen to music the whole time, right? But what about this lecture? After 1 hour of listening, you get bored, right? This is an example of attachment to sound. What about smell? One time I saw a small bottle of perfume that cost $5,000. People are attached to pretty smells. How about taste? What about your tongue? Have we ever gone to a restaurant or a party and spent an incredible amount of money on a single meal? Couldn't that money have been used to benefit our meditation center? It's not just one time that people spend this kind of money on meals. People do this a lot, right? We have to go shopping a lot so that we can fill our kitchens with food. Why? For the love of the taste of good food. What about tangible objects like your clothing? How many sets of clothes do you have at home? In different colors too, right? You probably have many, many outfits. But you only need one, right? Instead, you might have a few dozen. What about your shoes? How many do you have at home? What do all these examples illustrate? Attachment to sense desires. Why are you attached so much? Because the attachment has been there for longer than just this one life. It's like fermented liquor. For so many years, so many lives, you've been attached to these things. That's why it's very hard to get away from the sense sphere. Q. I once knew a man from Africa who said that if you go to the refrigerator and can't decide what to eat, you're not really hungry. It's true. What we're talking about here is why the Buddha said that some have mental suffering and some have physical suffering. Where's it come from? It comes from sense desire. It's because of your desire. Desire causes us suffering. So this is Kāmasava, or sense desire. 17. Las Vegas saya dao bhavasava. This is attachment to jhana. It includes both rupajana and arupajana. If you're attached to your jhana, then it's not wholesome. No, it's unwholesome. Also, when we sit in meditation, we might experience auras, a feeling of lightness in the body, rapture, quietude, or a number of other special things. If we attach to these special feelings or experiences, our vipassana knowledge cannot grow. Instead, it will stop right there. These are all illustrations of Āsavā. In reality, it is lobha. It is still lobha, or attachment. We can also be attached to existence in the rupa or arupa planes. Some people practice meditation or do some other meritorious thing and wish to be reborn in the Brahma world. This is bhavasava. It is attachment to the Brahma world. The Buddha said that we should not attach to anything, no plane, no person. When you do something meritorious, it would be better to think, by the power of my meritorious deed, may I attain nibbana and escape from all kinds of suffering. But if you want or wish to be reborn in any existence, this is bhavasava, or attachment. Why are you attached to jhana, or to the rupa or arupa planes? Because we have been attached to these in many previous lives. This is āsavā, dit thāsava. This is false views. We have 62 kinds of false views, but briefly, there are just two: sasataditi, eternalism, and uchaditi, annihilation. So, diti means wrong view. You might have this wrong view. You think your body is an entity, a person, a man or a woman. You think you're I or you. This is false view. Really, there is no me, I, person, no entity, no individual, no man and no woman. What do we really have? Realities, which we've studied. Your body is matter, right? Your mind is consciousness. Where is man or woman? Not to be found. We have studied this, and now we know. Now we have right thoughts and good views. When we call someone a man or a woman, a Mr. or a Mrs., we are using concepts, panyati. But really, that's all it is. There is only 18 akusala sangaha, the reality of mind, and matter chitta, cetasika, and rupa. That's all we have. Avijjasava. This is ignorance. It is ignorance with regard to past lives. In other words, you don't know your past life and where you came from. If you don't understand Abhidhamma, you won't know where you were in the previous life. You might think, maybe this is my first life, or maybe I just ended up here in this human world. You don't understand your past life. Avijjasava is also ignorance regarding your future life after you die. Where will I have to be reborn again? You don't know. Avijjasava also includes ignorance with regard to both past life and future life, as well as the Four Noble Truths. You know the Four Noble Truths, right? The first is suffering, the second is the cause of suffering, the third is the cessation of suffering, and the fourth is the path leading to the cessation of suffering, or the Noble Eightfold Path. And avijjasava is also ignorance regarding the law of dependent origination, or padacchāyas amuppada. So, avijjasava is ignorance, moha, with regard to these 8 things: past life, future life, both past and future lives, the Four Noble Truths, and the law of dependent origination. We'll study the Four Noble Truths and padaccasamuppada in detail later, but for now, I'll just briefly talk a bit about the law of dependent origination. These topics are very interesting. Because of our ignorance, there is sankhara. In other words, mental formations, volition arises. Because of sankhara, vijnana, consciousness, arises. Because of consciousness, mind and matter arises. Because of mind and matter, and so on. We call this dependent origination. With avijjasava, you don't understand this. If you don't understand about the past, the future, both the past and the future, suffering, or its cause, i.e., you don't know why you suffer, this is moha, or ignorance. Where does suffering come from? It's craving, or attachment. When you understand that, you'll know cessation, and the way leading to its cessation. You will know that because of A and B, there is C. In other words, you'll begin to understand cause and effect. 1-9, Las Vegas Sayadaw. This is dependent origination. But, because of avijjasava, we don't know about these 8 things. With these four kinds of āsavā, how many realities are there? Kamasava is lobha. Bhavasava is also lobha. Ditthasava is ditthi chaitasika. Among the 52 kinds of mental factors, one is ditthi chaitasika, wrong view. Right? And avijjasava is moha. So the names are fourfold, but the realities are just these three: lobha, ditthi, and moha. See that? Lobha is attachment, ditthi is wrong view, and moha is ignorance. These look like fermented liquor. They make a man drunk and forgetful of his liberation. I don't have time to practice meditation because of what? Sense desire, right? I have to go to a party, a restaurant, watch TV, follow the news. Sense desire. Or maybe there's bhavasava, which includes attachment to things like spending time with my family, my husband, my boyfriend, my girlfriend. This is bhavasava. You don't have time to practice meditation and have become forgetful of liberation. What about ditthasava? I don't want to sit in meditation. It's a waste of time. We sometimes don't even know that we have ignorance, or moha. We don't know why we're in the situation we are in, where we came from, or where we have to be reborn again. We don't know about cause and effect. We don't know anything. These āsavā make a person drunk, and then he cannot attain nibbana. This is because of āsavā. After we do good things together here, I guide the people to say, by the power of my meritorious deeds may I be free from āsavā. We do this because we want to gain enlightenment, or nibbana. How many abhiññana, superintellect, are there? 6, right? For a normal person, there are 5. Celestial eye, celestial ear, and so on. But the 6th one is for arahants. It is called āsavakkhaya jnana, or the extinction of āsavā. This means no āsavā. 20.